I'm Professor Margaret Rogers Van Coots, and I have started my new show, The Truth. And the reason I started it was because my spirit guides came to me and told me that it was time that we started to share some of the information that I've been working with throughout my life. Now, what that actually means is, in truth, real true honesty, I became consciously aware of my spirit guides at the grand age of 2. And as soon as I could talk pretty well, which so my mother says was about the same age, I was always running off to people to give them little spiritual psychic messages. Just recently, I had 58 people at one of my seminars at the local college who had come for a message from the other side. 2 hours was all I had, and in those 2 hours I gave messages to all 58 people in the room. I want you to understand here that I'm not bragging about my skills and abilities, but rather justifying, rationalizing, explaining, excusing to you, whichever way you want to hear it, that as a medium, my growth throughout my life, in spite of or despite my studies in various aspects of being a nurse, studying psychology, psychiatry, hypnosis, ministry, the list goes on, I was able, with spirit guides in my head, to constantly be taught everything that I needed to know. And so throughout my life, everything I have done has always been outside the box of normal routines of healing, counseling, and so on and so forth. Yes, I do have the ability easily in these days now to channel spirit guides, whether they be ascended masters, Jesus, Siddhartha Buddha, Melchizedek, the list goes on, to archangels and ascended masters that have been with me my whole life, to Auntie Sally, Uncle Tom, who happen to want to come and talk to you because they've got something to say. So when I did this event at the local school, and I will be doing another one probably in February and maybe even in March, where I live in Lake Havasu City, there are a lot of snowbirds down from the north, and this is a golden opportunity to help people to understand that the oneness is all around us, with us, and sharing information all the time if we would just sit back, meditate, relax, and enjoy the moment of receiving a contact in prayer or in meditation or in hypnosis with the oneness to receive whatever it is you need to receive to stimulate you in some way to think about an alternative, another way to see your situation, to try and look at your situation as though you are outside of your body, looking back at you, watching you doing whatever you're doing as you speak. Now, let's assume that you have a very big temper and you're very angry with some member of your family. When you come to meet them, obviously your rage is going to take you into that conversation. You may be believing you're controlling your emotions quite well, but I can tell you that your face will be showing all the emotions that you are hiding from the person you're talking to while pretending to be quite straight and honest. And of course, they're looking at your face and they're seeing the real you. The real you flows through your eyes. And when, for example, I'm talking to you, I'm very full of expression. I open my eyes, I chat. I'm not doing this deliberately. This is how I talk and smile and say and do whatever I'm doing. And of course, that makes you feel safe with me. But if I was to be angry, which I'm not right now, but I'll try and pretend I'm angry. It's a whole different face, isn't it? I'm shouting. I'm not good. I don't feel right. Okay, see how we close the eyes, see how we close the mouth, we screw up our cheeks. Well, I want you to understand that you're not fooling anyone, and most important of all, you're certainly not fooling your spirit guides. So you may pretend when you pray to God that you are surrendering and transforming and changing and adapting, and the list could go on in the way that you think about it. But I can tell you that if you've grown up, as I have, with a war and parents missing, people coming and going, judgment all around, religious thrown at you, school teachers yelling at you, school kids in the playground probably treating you badly, trying to abuse you in some way because you're a bit different, the list could go on. And what I want to point out to you is this book, The Dark Side. Spirit guides wanted me to write this book a couple of years ago, by me, there you are, and this little person on the front is a dark side of you, yourself. It's a symbol of what you show to the world and you don't even know it. And as you see, behind this girl is a light outline on the edges of her body. And I want you to know that as you're losing it and getting negative, the light is coming from the oneness, see this ray here, to try and help you see yourself from a different point of view. So what does this book say? Well, the truth is that it tells you that you, in a nutshell, from various points of view that spirit guides have channeled through me, is saying your point of view is on the dark side. No matter how much you rationalize that you've got something good to share and everyone is around and you think it's a golden opportunity to share this news, if the people in the room with you are of a different mind and you start telling them and pushing on them what it is you know, however great, how wonderful it is, whether it's philosophy, religion, or simply a new idea or a new invention, and those people are in resistance to hearing what you have to say, then you are encountering the dark side of their nature, because you could see them very clearly stuck in a rut. Now, supposing you respond to someone's remark and bite on their words and lose control and lose your light, then it will be that you have stepped down into the dark side of yourself to actually say in a mirror image of the people around you, well, if you won't listen to me on a higher vibration of light, I'll step down into your world and show you the dark side of the way you perceive. Now, of course, not everybody wants to be shown that they're showing themselves up as being negative and in the dark side. And of course, if you're a light worker, you would understand that. And you would simply say, I have more to say about this. If you're ever interested, just call me up, knock on my door, something that invites them to know they can come back later at a given time and review what it is that you've been trying to say to them. Now, the dark side, I'll hold it up again for you, is not about demons and ghoulies and goblins and so on. Do take a look and understand you can get it on Amazon as an ebook or as a softback, okay? And the reason I'm putting it there again is, you know, if you see something 3 times, then it reminds you that it's important to you in some way. If you see it once or twice, it's very good to just slip away and you've forgotten all about it. So be warned, I will hold it up one more time. But it's not about me making sales. It's not about me even pushing this on you. What it's about is trying to help you understand that for all your judgment in goodness and in kindness, making allowances for the people around you, as long as you are in umbrage, in some way upset by them, however tiny, teeny bit it may be, there is a little bit of that dark side in you working. And what does that do? It makes you empathize with your pains and your sufferings where you've been rejected, cast out, put down in some way. And of course, this could have happened right in kindergarten, where some other kid came up, snatched your toy, and ran off with it, and you ran after it and hit them, and teacher told you off, and everybody's in the tiswas. Of course, you won't remember that now. But in the deep part of your, sorry about this, in the deep part of your spiritual self, there was a lesson going on. And that lesson was actually saying very, very clearly, don't hurt yourself by responding to someone who's negative. Someone who's negative is in the dark side. But hey, you're very young. You don't know about angels and all sorts of wonderful bright things yet, except for maybe fairy stories or something. And yes, there's always the story of the wicked witch and the nasty trickery elf and whatever. So even at that age, you were learning about the dark side. So what are we looking at in a universal sense? If we talk about spiritual ascended masters, then we have to understand that they too do know all about the dark side. Well, how do they know? Well, basically, they have lived in different time periods that we can't even think about. For example, we could have all been aliens living on Mars, and I'm sure you can all think about that, and there's lots of people who say that right now. But hey, Mars is a pretty dead planet, and so it's pretty difficult to really think about going back and living there, and why would we want to? Unless we could reclimate it and to make oxygen suddenly turn up, well, we'd have to be a miracle, wouldn't we? We'd have to, in our point of view, call out to God to inspire us and give us a motivation to even want to try and do that. But then we're up against time. And as you know, we all grow older day by day, even minute by minute. And as we do that, our hair's growing, our nails growing, and we can see that pretty quickly. But inside are hundreds and billions and trillions and so on going on of different types of cells in your body. And they are programmed that when you get into the dark side, they erupt. And when they erupt, they are programmed, hopefully, to rejuvenate, replacing themselves with a new cell. Now, think how microscopic that is. And understand that if you are day by day in the dark side of your nature, arguing with other people who are trying to help you see another point of view, which would bring some light into your life, then it's small wonder that given a length of time, you might suddenly manifest a major illness. Because all those little dark cells in your body haven't been able to receive the light while you've been in a negative mode. And while you're in that negative mode, maybe you're not eating enough, so you're not feeding fuel to revitalize those cells. And maybe you're smoking and drinking because you're so worn out and so exhausted and you want some comfort, and you lose yourself by getting drunk, getting high, and not dealing with the dark side of yourself. So what is the dark side? It's that part of self that holds on emotionally to all the things that you think were done by someone to you that was in some way upsetting you emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Now, let's add to that fear that you have been threatened by someone and aren't strong enough to stand up and defend yourself. Then over the years, you would add to that by walking away as you become an adult, saying, I'm sorry, I'm not busy, I can't stay now, and walk away. If, on the other hand, you're more a physical type and don't really want to confront someone, then you might just ignore completely, and suddenly they hit you, and what do? You defend yourself and you punch out. And when you do that, later in contemplation, you feel, why did I do that? Why did I step into the dark side of myself and punch that person? What did it achieve? It hurt my knuckles, but hey, it didn't stop them. They're still banging on my door or on my face, as it were, saying that they know better than me. So what I learned from the oneness over the years of my life, and we're talking 80 years that I've been on this planet, and of 78 of those years being consciously aware of spirit who was teaching me. And so what I learned over the years was I was allowed to step into the dark side frequently and yell and scream at my kids and yell and scream at my 2 ex-husbands, and really try and get them to understand that they were in the dark side of themselves, because they each were in some way doing wrong. And I was so righteous in my thoughts that I could channel from spirit and help them to become better people and so on and so forth, only to be disappointed more and more, until ultimately I began to learn and understand that you can help some of the people some of the time, but you can't help all of the people all of the time. And I will tell you without a shadow of doubt that in my 20s through 30s, I thought, with my spirit guides there on my shoulders, it were, morning, noon and night, reading everyone, talking to everyone, that I could help everyone. Yes, I thought I was a sort of mini Jesus, and I could go out and do the healing and help the people. Well, I got older, I got wiser, I got Parkinson's disease, I shook all over, and yes, I had the wrong pills that killed me, and so I died. And when I woke up, I was brought back, and Spirit told me now my real lessons would begin. And of course, I realized, looking back over those years, because we're looking at 35, 40, 45 years of spiritual growth in the knowing that I can only help those that want to be helped. But I can give a little clue now and again. So my little clue today to you is, are you fed up living in a situation where you are looking at everything with the dark side of your personality? Are you judging? Are you condemning yourself or others? Are you expecting other people to change just because you are changing? Now, that doesn't work, you know, because some of the people will see what you're doing and enjoy your change. But hey, ask me to change too? That's too much. There's too much psychology and psychiatry in me. What is that? That's your DNA from your family, your parents, and there are classes I've done on this, and there are recordings, so you can read up and look on this online for later. And I also have books on it. And then you've got the RNA that you've made throughout your life with all those people who come into your life and seem to test you, push you, prod you, poke you in some way to make alternative choices. And yet, are you still stuck in a rut? Are you still ignoring what they said might work out better for you? Are you in an everyday job where you go and do it because you worry about money, and you hate all the people you work with, and you wonder why they don't come and chat with you because you've got a miserable face on? Okay, yes, there's thousands of you doing jobs you hate to do, but why not bring some light into that? A light in your smile, in your eyes, in the way that you offer information. For example, I used to say to my son, leading with a question, why are you doing this way? Before I got, why are you? I was getting a response that was like, stop telling me what to do. Because growing up, they'd had me tell them lots of things what to do before I clinically died and came back. And of course, those influences that I gave them while I was in the dark side of myself are in their personalities. But I can't make them dump the things that I showed and tell that they copycatted. That's in their RNA. I can only wait until they say, show me, let me read a book you've written, or hypnotize me. And yes, I have had that opportunity with all 4 of my children over the years to help them dump their negativity and become more positive. But hey, we can't dump all the negativity. You know why? It's our anchor. It makes us look at everything we're doing, thinking about everything we're doing all the time. And when we compare notes with other people that we know, and they're saying, well, I used to do that, but now I'm doing this and that, and we see them without pushing it on us that we like what we see, then we are open and ready to actually listen to how much of the dark side we're using. So here is the time again to show you the book, The Dark Side. And again, I'm going to ask you, I'm sorry the light's on it, are you really aware that you have a negative trait? Think about it. Look at this person, male or female, okay, doesn't matter, because we've all lived male and female lives throughout many, many times in history. But right now, whatever body you're in, if you're in the dark side, you have dark traits, personalities that hurt you. So when you hurt yourself, what you're actually doing is showing, demonstrating to the rest of the world how much you want to change, but you're not doing it with the people who have the ability to help you change. So what I'm about to suggest to you is that you find someone who's a hypnotherapist, a counselor, someone who is able to do marriage repairs and so on, and go on your own. Don't drag the other half along. And don't expect the other half to want to change just because you are. But what it will do is it will help you to see the traits you've been using in the dark side and appreciate that they've taught you a great deal about wanting to find the light side of self. The light side of self is a very important part, but it has a different modality, and I will be making another video on that. So in a while, if you want to do that, listen to that one too, then please do. But let's stay on the dark side. We've only got a few more minutes, so what I want to say to you, it's not bad to be in the dark side of yourself. It is bad when you make yourself do something cruel. So if you are feeling frustrated, fed up, unloved, lost, and so on, hitting someone, stabbing someone, blowing a bomb up somewhere is not going to make you feel better. In fact, if anything, in reflection afterwards, you will feel worse. Why? Because something happens that nobody knows really happens. What happens is your aura absorbs all the darkness from all the people around you while you are open to showing your dark face. So after you've had your row or done your bad deed and you walk away and you are alone, you are, after getting over, I feel I hit back feeling, you will suddenly find yourself demoralized emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually, and may even feel suicidal, because your spirit self is right at the back of that body where I mentioned the light side. And here I am, I'm going to show it up again, so make sure you see the light outline there on the girl, okay? And recognize that the back part of yourself is the light side that will come into the front side of yourself and heal all those cells. Get rid of all the negativity that you recall and believe has been done to you. And in letting go of all the people who may or may not have intended to help you or hurt you in some way, you will find you're at peace with yourself and yourself alone. Now, because I'm talking about this, I'm coughing. In order to talk about these things, I have to tap into some of my dark self. And I have to make it clear, as you can see with me, that we all have dark side that we need to keep. Some of it is to protect ourselves and make us feel safe. Obviously, we don't want to stay in the company of a bully and just let him punch us. We must learn through the wisdom of the light side to not fight, but to stay neutral. And as Jesus said, turn the other cheek. I'm sorry, but yeah, we've all got it. It doesn't mean I have a cold. No, I don't. I am clearing my throat chakra, and it will continue to tickle until I stop talking about the dark side, which is not going to happen on this video. and trying to control it. And as you can tell, I can't. I'm sorry I have to see this, but on the other side, I'm so glad you are seeing this. See, my eyes are watery, my nose is running. So next time you're with someone and you're yelling and screaming, and afterwards you see yourself coughing and spluttering and wanting to cry and feel awful, know that you've just used the dark side as a tool to let people understand that you want to change. Now, don't expect them to change for you. As I said earlier, you must realize that only you can make the choice to let yourself change. And of course, now I'm thinking about the light side, and I will be making that video for you. So I hope you'll switch over and watch that as well. And when you understand that the light side is flowing from the back of your body into the front, your chakras, crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus where the abs are, and base chakra where your private parts are, and the spleen chakra that I've talked about on other shows, that runs through your body in a crossed angle from left rear hip bone to right front hip bone. And you can make circles. I'm doing it up here so you can see what I'm doing on this area down here, and that will balance the light and the dark within you. And yes, so I've been doing a little bit of that here, and as I think about it mentally of spinning that chakra, I'm not weeping anymore, I'm not channeling any more dark side, I'm neutral. I'm in a space of being still. Now, I am open to questions, and if you'd like to talk about this, do write to me, PROF, short for Professor, MARGARET, RVC for Rogers Van Coops, @gmail.com. Head it, I have a question, and I will reply to you. If you need counseling and help, request that too. I'll be there for you. So thank you for listening to The Truth today. I hope you will truly understand just how important it is to know both the light and the dark sides of yourself, because ultimately throughout your life you'll always use both. But I want you yet again to understand the dark side is everything you've inherited in your DNA and everything you've taken on throughout your life, minute by minute, in terms of people coming into your life, seeing situations, working with fear, pain, anger, guilt, and loss. So on that note, do go find some more of my videos and enjoy yourself. Take care. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.